Take on the game.
Yeah, listen, it's a special game played by special men, and just very fortunate and feel great for our guys to come out victorious. And just in the way they did it, I'm looking here 6-2 in the fourth quarter. Just an incredible effort, and these guys have played with great poise, great determination, incredible perseverance throughout the season. And today was just another one of those days, and they did it on the biggest stage and the biggest game of the year.
Okay, Army was up 7-2. They came back, made it 7-6, 7-7 eventually after a crazy third quarter that nobody scored. You put Paul Johnson in first time this year. I'm not exactly sure when you put him in. It might have been in the third quarter, was it?
That was his second time out there. He played earlier.
Do you think he was a spark plug?
Oh, there's no question. Paul's been in just a real nagging injury. And he wasn't leading on to it. Paul practiced for the first time in equipment all year, to include the fall. He never practiced in the fall. We wanted to rest it up, and kind of came back in the spring, and it just wasn't any better. And he practiced last week, helmet and gloves twice, and then this week he practiced full equipment, but he only did contact drills twice. And when he did the contact drills, he only did one run in each one of them. I mean, so it's an incredible thing. Paul, if you follow our team from last year, was an integral part of our success, and just an incredible player. And just kind of look at the film, and he was kind of making a play. I mean, but it was a singular play, and kept telling me he felt good. He kept telling our offensive coordinator, "I feel good," and it was just an opportunity to put him in there. Ryan Spacito made a great play, and right at the end of the clock, and obviously to put you up in the fourth quarter is a big deal, but then for Paul to do it, there was just a little extra punch to it, because we've watched how much he's been laboring and how frustrating this injury's been.
Do you think that was the key to the game, the fact that he scored the goal?
Listen, it was 8-7 I think at the time, and we had to continue to play defense. It was a big moment. But I think Willie won the next face-off, and then Gunnar Fellows, who does nothing but affect winning, hits a big goal, and then it's Plunkett, and here we are, we're rolling. So yeah, it was a good one. It had been a long time since we had scored. I don't know how many minutes it was. We hadn't scored, and so I think kind of broke the dam there a little bit, and got going.
What did you see in the 8-7 to review Jaros' goal that would have made 8-8?
Yeah, so it looked really close. That too close to not throw the flag. I was waffling just a little bit, because here we are in a tie game. You want your timeouts at the end of the game, and just kind of actually the review up on the board was a little better than what we had on our screen. And when I saw it, I just I was like, I think this is worth a challenge, and it worked out well for us. It worked out well for us because Eamon Murphy made a hell of a play on the man down, took a shot, got the ball going our way. I think Christian Fournier picked the ball up there. So, if they scored on man down, it wasn't a big play. So, it turned out to give us a little bit of another little bump, and kept it rolling.
And that was definitely the right call. I was so impressed at 0-4-90 how you kept running them out there. Can you take me through that?
It's a little interesting, Christian, around these games. And the way it all played out. So they do run the lion's share. They do, because a couple All-Americans on that on that line, and then you got Bailey O'Connor, who just plays his biggest in the biggest game. So we want to give those guys the opportunity. But when there was a couple of additional reviews, and then there was TV timeouts, and then you have your own timeouts. There was a lot of stoppage in that game, and that enabled us to kind of have them play. And then, really in the second quarter, it felt like things got tilted a little bit in their direction in terms of ball. We had some quick bang possessions, some unsettled things. I thought Daly made a couple of huge saves. We had two pipes in a one-on-one situation. He made a save or two in those situations. So they actually weren't out there for a long time. So when we got into the settled sets, we were able to run them out there.
And were you surprised to see 6 play so much for Navy?
No, we anticipated that, having watched him play at Lafayette last week. So they got him some run, and he is what a player he is. And he, John, the first time last week, got the ball. They took him to Axe. Boom! In like 2 seconds, he scores. We're like, all right, this kid's back. We had seen him in a boot on the sidelines in some of the films that we had watched before. So it was a lower body injury, but he didn't look like he was going to have any problems. So I don't know what he had later in the game, but we switched to putting a pole on him because they were really running their offense through him. And we thought we had some pretty good size to match up, but he just made some great plays. He's a big kid, but he's very athletic on top of that. So Johnny Sullivan went and covered him, and I felt like maybe I'm just making this up in my mind, but I thought that sort of slowed them down, and led to that third quarter of 0 goals. Can't say enough about Sean Burns' game. I mean, 19 saves, 8 goals against in your first Army-Navy game in your third career start. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Coach, Will Coletti had a real good fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a bit.
Hey, listen, Will's been our MVP. He was our MVP last year, and he is again this year. He does a terrific job in the middle of the field. He had a great great battle. He and Hayashi, and I think we came up on a little bit of the positive end of it, but certainly that goal that he scored, what a juice goal for us. And so when you're looking at the face-off, you're looking at is it your wins and possessions are important, but if you can create some offense off of it is also outstanding. So he scores a goal, he has an assist, smart player. When I believe he might have had another shot, and he read where that slide came from. They were actually coming from the lower inside guy. So in the fourth quarter, he pops one forward, and they came from there again, and he hits Gunnar Fellows right on the doorstep. So he's a great face-off guy, but he's an outstanding lacrosse player is what he is. And I would add that one other when he won it backwards. Bonnets is checking him, he slips, he's on the ground, and he throws the ball to A.J. Pilot kind of on his perfect strike, and we were able to clear the ball as opposed to turning that into a turnover. So he's the MVP of the team, and we expect him to do big things and big games, and he certainly did that.
One more question on Johnson. I'm sorry to bring it up, but did you put him in thinking the team needed a little bit of a spark? You went, I think it was 23 minutes without scoring.
Yeah, no, he had played earlier, and actually he had a pretty good run at it. Crossed his guy up a couple times. It didn't result in much. He came around a left-hander in the third quarter, and got checked out of his stick. But typical Paul, just a guy that always is willing to take the extra step to get to the front of the goal, and that's what he did. After again, guys, he has not played lacrosse since he broke his wrist in the Patriot League finals. So it's incredible what he did, and he kind of showed some flashes of who we remember him to be. So we'll see, see what Monday brings, and as he was saying, it's a day-to-day type of thing. So we'll see, and definitely a nice bonus if he's feeling healthy.
Coach Ken Kreitzer, Camvets Media, congratulations.
Thanks,
just building on Seth's question, what are you thinking? You have a scoreless third period, and then Navy ties it, Hewitt's goal, 7-7. And what you're thinking, what's your strategy about keeping Navy from gaining momentum at that point in the game?
Well, I think that helps when you're in the face-off circle. And then, I don't know if there's as much strategy to it as doing what you're doing. It is in the middle of the fourth quarter, and you've only given up 7 goals. So on the defensive side and the goaltending, you're getting what you want. Just offensively, it was. Coach Ward, Justin Ward, does a terrific job with our offense. He's a terrific offensive coordinator, and we kept running some different things. Wanted to get back to what we were doing in the first quarter, and being aggressive coming off of the picks. we felt like sometimes they were stepping up and switching, and we were losing some momentum and losing some speed, and coming off of that. And he just kept pushing the guys to do that. And, we got that 8th goal with like 1 second on the shot clock. So maybe it was, not a lot was working right there at that point either. But once we got that one, again, broke the dam, and we were able to kind of keep going. Like I said, Gunnar Fellows, and then Reese hits Evan Plunkett, kind of attacking him from below the goal line.
Thank you.
Coach John Choran, Metro Sports Magazine.
Hey, John.
To the casual sports fan, Army Navy means football, but here at the academies, it extends to so many different sports. How does it relate to your team? How does it make it different for your team? And how do you think your players feel about it?
Well, I think there's a couple things, just relative in our sport is it typically has national implications. Teams are usually ranked in the top 20. It has conference ramifications too. So, you have that element of it. You saw today in a really sloppy day, 10,000 people show up to it. That's a little atypical for Army Navy games and other sports. So, those are some of the things that make it different. The history with it, and the tremendous rich history that Navy has in that sport, and the 106 years of winning that Army has in the sport really brings a little bit more gravity to it. And so it's special. And if we were to play dominoes, Army versus Navy, it would be a big thing. It would be a big deal. But in this sport, it certainly takes on a lot of other things beyond just two like academies going at it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Coach, something we've talked about before is it's another indicator when you have 10,400 people on a rainy day come out to your game, the growth of lacrosse. So all the young kids out there with their sticks and jerseys on going to watch the game. Is this another indicator of the growth of lacrosse?
I would think so. This game has been well attended for a long time, and I gotta tip my hat to our marketing people who did a wonderful job with the whiteout. And I think we had a count that there was roughly about 400 alumni that were coming back, just lacrosse alumni and families. So it's a big deal to them. Our marketing people do a great job, and yes, the sport itself has and continues to grow. And when you think about it in this area, within 90 miles, you can hit any part of Long Island, northern Jersey, Connecticut, and you can get up into, close to the Albany area. So, for an hour or two, you come and you watch two top teams play in a rivalry that's really unlike any other.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.